Hi, I'm Jerry. Welcome to my channel. And my channel's name is JC Seiji. Okay. And welcome to the special video. This is a very important video to me. I hope my microphone picks up my voice clearly and that I make my point. Back in I guess in 1957, I entered high school, and I had freshman English, and the English teacher I had at the time was a large woman, and her name was Mrs. Khan, and it was a really interesting class. We learned. I can't remember what we learned. I remember a couple of things. I remember we had a lesson where we had to bring to class something that we were interested in and talk about it, show it, show what it is, and talk about it. So at the time I was raising, I had some snakes, so I brought one of my snakes to class, and that was pretty interesting. I can't remember what happened there, but the reason why, after all these years, I still remember that class was because of one what was assignment that we had to have in order to get a passing grade, and that was we were supposed to do a paper up telling about our family history. Now, I didn't realize it at the time. I'm sure there are a few people in the class that were adopted, so I bet it was really difficult for them. But at the time, for me, it was puzzling because I didn't have a clue about any of that stuff. And so I basically, whatever I learned, I learned from my father's mother, because they were even when my parents came from Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma, to California back in 1942. They came with his parents. My dad's parents came with them. Plus, my mom's, I think her sisters who were married had also gotten married. Two or three of them came with them. They all came out in a caravan, and most of them ended up in the San Joaquin Valley. That's where they first went. In fact, I just discovered last night that looking at my birth certificate, my parents were only here 2 weeks before they had me. So that means they were moved into this area and like 2 weeks before my birth, and in December, and so it was interesting assignment because I had no idea what I would find. Talked to my mom mentioned something about having Native American blood in her, and it turned out eventually, as I delved into it, that she was like about 30% what you call the Skokie Nation, or the Creek Nation, one of the 5 civilized tribes of the southeastern USA. And but that's about all I knew. I couldn't get much from her because they didn't really have that much knowledge. She didn't have that much knowledge of history. And my grandmother, though, my father's mother, she had extensive knowledge of history, and they have pictures of. Later, I found out they have pictures of my great great grandfather, which I've gotten, and uh, it was. She gave me a lot of information that I wrote down. I stuck it in a file. I put it away. I turned it in, got a grade for it, put it away, brought it out, put it away. I haven't found. I haven't been able to find it. Of course, I haven't really looked all that hard, but I got it buried in the house somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find that because I use it for reference. But what this video is about is the value of doing that. And so I was thinking, well, I got all this information. I got some of it online. I did a family history. Part of it is fictional because I started in Europe on the Copeland side, on my father's side. I started in Europe. Basically, we're descendants of Germanic tribes. Okay, that wandered across. I guess what would they be called? Eurasian or some kind of. I call them Germanic tribes that wandered into Germany and into Scandinavia and Western Europe. They basically, like the Druids and all that came into the British Isles. And so I had to crystallize that because there's no written history of there. What I discovered was that, looking at my own history, that our written history goes back to about 1500 AD. And most of it is kind of brief, but there is something there, which really blew my mind because I found it all on the internet. A lot of places. I learned more about my mother's side of the family on the internet than what it could tell me. And I was able to trace a lot of that on the internet. And on my father's side, same thing. And, I only used I reached a point where I got stymied by one thing. And a lady had prepared a book on Copelands, okay, and that means all of them. And so I managed to find in that book a reference to my great great grandfather, and from there I could resolve an issue I had or try to understand what happened. And but the point is that in doing all this, I realized that for me, there's not much. I'm the end of the road. Of course, my father's father he only had his son, my father, and that was it. My father had my brother and me. My brother got married, but he didn't have children. I don't know what it was caused by. He could have been genetically he got really sick. He was in Vietnam. He got really sick. I mean, really sick. And the body temperature could have been strong enough to destroy what he calls spermatocytes. And that's what happens. That's why in males, the reproductive organs are outside the body because heat can destroy the cells that produce gametes. And that's why males are that way. Females is different. They don't have that problem. But that could have happened to my brother, or his wife could have been just barren, or I don't know what. I don't understand. I have no idea. I can't ask, none of my business and all that. But he had no children, and me, I'm not. I'm a loner. I was a loner as a child. partly because I think I had to deal with a lot of grief from others. They call it bullying now, but I saw that problem real fast. At one point, I got fed up with it, and I beat up with one guy, and they left me alone after that. And uh, uh, but I couldn't be longer because I was going in and out of hospitals every year for like 10 years during the summertime. And once I got out of the hospital, I was at home. I was confined at home for a month afterwards. As my body, it's all oral surgery. I had me confined at home. I couldn't really play or anything for a month. And so my summer times were pretty limited. And so uh, I did manage to enjoy my life though. I had friends and we had fun. Got into trouble a few times, and well, I spent a lot of time on my own, and that has been my case as long as I have lived. Being on my own, I live in at UCSB with lots of other guys and the apartments and all that during while I was down there, but uh, not for me. I've gotten to where I just enjoy being alone. Don't do anything else, and it's easier. I have so many things to deal with. But anyhow, my point I guess I'm making is that I have all this information. It's going nowhere. Okay, I'm at the end of the road. See, so I have all this information about my family history, and what I've done is all I know of in my father's side is there's one cousin, and he has some children. So I asked him if he wanted. I have a lot of old pictures and things. If he wanted, he didn't really want them. So I did on the email. He sent me an email. So an email I had prepared a bunch of pages. I traced the family history from the young man that came across from England to Virginia, as far as that we're part of the lineage we come from, and so I emailed him all those pages, and I told him, here's this, give these to your kids, because that's I think is important. To me, it's important knowing that, having that knowledge. You may not have to know it per se, but having that knowledge, being able to look back and see that these are the people that survived. And these people that survived are the reason why you're here. And how did they do it? What were they doing? What did they do? And it's interesting. I can tell you some of the stories about my background. That my family background, that is interesting, and I'll be showing you some of that in this video. But the point is that what I'm trying to do with this video is to encourage each and every one of you to do one thing, and that is to prepare. That's what the title of this video is: a family memorial box. And that is a box in which you take any size box, whatever, and you try and find the oldest picture you can find of a family member. I mean, from 1800s, whatever. It can't be much like older than 1800s, probably, unless you get a painting before then. 1800s, 1900s, whatever. The oldest picture you can of a family member that you are descendant from. And I know if you're adopted, and I don't know what to tell you. You have a special challenge ahead of you, because I personally think you're entitled to know who your parents were, even though you may find out they are not people you want to know. And I know that in my own background, we have a few shady characters, but that's just part of what it was. they're the ones that made it. So, it's because they survived, we're here. Whether they're good people or bad people, it doesn't matter. We're here because of their survival. And uh, so I want to encourage everybody to do that. And I want to show you what I've done to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, but maybe it will give you a good reference point to approach the challenge, because it is a challenge. But it's surprising. If you really want to get into it and start checking around, there's a lot of information on the internet. And if all you need to know is like the names of your parents, or your grandparents, on your mother's side and father's side, knowing that really helps. And knowing about them really helps. That's a good start. But knowing beyond them, the great grandparents or your great grandparents, that also is a plus. It's a plus. So anyhow, here's my box that I prepared. What? It's just a box. The reason I got this box like this, okay, is because I had this really weird my years ago my grandmother had in her house this picture of an old picture in a really neat frame. And when my grandmother died and my father sold the house, I discovered that she had sold that frame, and she left this thing. It's like this is a picture, and here's a picture. It is my it was her husband's father at 4 years old. A photograph made of him when he was 4 years old. And it was my great grandparent. This is my great grandparent when he was 4 years old. And so that's I'll show you what year that was. I guess it was 1800s. Okay, I didn't know what to do with it. See, I can't really give it to anybody. And so I found this box because it'll fit inside this box. And you have to use some of this stuff to help. But decide, go ahead and stuff this in the box. This will be a main thing in the box. And into that box I'll be putting other things as well. Okay. And so what other things I found let's see, was this. This is a picture of my great grandfather and his family. Okay, his wife right here, his daughter here. This one is called Donna. This is his son, his second son called Bill. His first daughter, nickname was Lee. His oldest son called William. Kind of confusing, William and Bill. I guess you like that name. Youngest son, my grandfather, Austin. And here's that 4-year-old kid I just showed you as an adult with his family. I presume he was born in 1901, so I figure if he's about 4 years old or 5 years old, this is 1905 or something maybe. And here he is, 1905. Okay, and so this is an old picture. There's the names on the back. My grandmother wrote names on the back. William, me, Bill, Donna, and Austin. His name is J.W. Copeland. And I'm named after him because my initials are the same. Okay? But it's hard to believe. This man, born in Alabama, moved to Texas, moved down in an area in Texas that was, during those years, 1800s, late 1800s. Comanches were raised in those areas. And he was a farmer. And he eventually ended up in Oklahoma, where his youngest son found his wife. Anyhow, so I started my box with those two things. And I had a bunch of information that I already had, and I decided I was going to print it out. Now, if you want to do this kind of stuff, I recommend you have a desktop. If you have a desktop computer, you have a nice printer and a scanner. So when it's scanning images or photographs into your machine, and some kind of some kind of program that you can use to work with photographs, because that's what I have. I have something called photo impressing, which is free. So what I did, I went through old photographs, and I ran across one. That's become my favorite one. This one here, my favorite one. This is my father's father, my grandfather, my paternal grandfather. Him doing what he loved the most. I think this is what I think he loved the most: caring for livestock. I say horses, but or farm animals. He grew up in a farm, grew up on a farm. He did farming up until the time they moved to California. Okay, and so, but once he became a city boy, he was nothing. He just couldn't deal with it. It was beyond him. So I realized that. One thing about this photograph made me realize something about the man that I had not really known. Okay, and so I wrote a little story on the back of it, a biography of him. I stuck it. I used one paper. Uh, Usually this, doing this, you need photo paper. This is like glossy photo paper. Okay, it's kind of glossy. It's kind of glossy. It's matte. It's matte. This is dolphins and glossy. And also, for this thing on the back, I have full page labels. Labels that you peel the top off, and just a full page. The whole page is a label. And I would using my photo impression program, or photo managing program, I would construct a page, this page, and I would print it out onto a full page label, cut it out, peel the backing off, and stick it on this, the back of this. That's an idea I had, and I want to share that with you because someday I might be dead and gone. And people will see this thing, and who is this, you know? And they'll have this. So that's the whole point. So I had to think that way. So I know I'll be gone, and my history will be gone with me, unless I leave something there. And that's the whole point of this box is. Because I have it on the internet, but so what? The box is different, and so it's there. See, and what I did, I prepared this folder. I call it a family copy. I prepared this folder in which you don't have to do it this way I'm doing it, but like what I did was I made up pages that show like this is my family, my father and mother, my brother and me, and I did a little thing like that, wrote something, and this is some of pages where I actually start. Let's see. Okay, where it really becomes more so. I have writing where I have show information about family Copeland in England in the 1400s, but it's not really connected. There's no way of really knowing just who is related to who. But at this point, right down here, 1500, is where it is connected. There's a continuous trail from this one person down a path that I could follow. And so I wrote that down, and here's the main man. Lawrence, in my family's name is Lawrence Copeland, and he had all those kids right there. And he was murdered because of his religion. He was I guess, he was a Puritan or something. Roundhead they called. And royalists. Before the English Civil War began, he was killed by people who were royalists, or they were, I guess, a Catholic church. They belonged to a Catholic church, and so his kids, most of them came to North America. And the first one came like in 1630, went to Massachusetts. And my lineage came from a younger brother that came in 1635, who came to Virginia, which I'm glad he did. Different people. But anyhow, what I did, one thing that I recommend doing is, once you get your information started, you need some kind of pattern. And what I did was I come up with something like this. Family tree chart where I start with a name, I indicate a birth date, a name of a person. Probably I use red as a color there to indicate the person I'm tracking down through, or you can use a different color or whatever. So I have all these pages in these sheet protectors that I have put in there. Okay. And it goes all the way down to me at the end, okay? And so from 1500 to me, okay? And I know, please excuse the fact this is going to be a long video. It's already about half an hour. So as part of this thing, I had on my machine photographs, like here's the oldest one I have. Actually, the oldest one. This is my great-great-grandfather and his wife. His name is Joseph Calvin. And this was around 1910 in Texas. I can tell you by looking at this chart, Joseph Calvin. Okay, here it is. He was born in 1846. Okay, so he was born in September 1, 1846. I got this off the internet too. This is really blows my mind. His wife's name is Sarah Elizabeth Rose. And so he was born in 1846. His wife, I don't know if I have his wife. I focus, right, she was born in 1850. Okay, so she was born in 1850. If I have the information, I will use it. Sometimes no, female women's side of the family are often ignored, especially the older histories. So sometimes all you get is a name, only a first name sometimes. But on the picture, the back of a picture, I put that information I had done on the chart in smaller form. Okay? This just goes and tears that picture right there. I wrote about. And I use that again as a close-up. That's stage one. And he was born in 1869. Here he is, right here. Okay. And on the back of that, I put a copy of what I had wrote about him. See, little duplicity. And here's that picture I showed you. So I have the names of each person over there. Okay. And I have on the, let's see, on the back of that, again, the same thing. Okay. Then, this, well, this may be about hopefully. I also include Atlas my my father's side. I include a little bit that I know about my my grandfathers. These are my grandparents. Okay, my uh, my grandmother's side, my father's mother. This is my father's side, and this is my father's mother's side right here. These are Texas Rangers, or they call them posses or something. Uh, and these are like this guy over here, probably only about 14, 15 years old. They were recruiting them young, and they were going out. This here is the person that is I'm descended from right here, and they were going out chasing Comanches and outlaw Mexicans coming across the border to rob and plunder or whatever. And I wrote on the back of that picture, I saw him up close. It didn't really show it. I did a lineage of me, put his name, and the picture was taken in 1886. So that picture, this picture is from 1886. So I put that in there, okay? And that shows a lineage from both sides of the family, abbreviated lineage. Okay, I knew when I drew that thing up. Okay. Now, here's that picture I showed you of my grandfather, and the same thing, except I stuck it in there. And I put in a couple other pages I thought were really cool. Here he is, my great-grandfather. They were farmers in Texas and Oklahoma, and here he is. They use horses, and he's disting out a field with a team of 4 horses there. And they grew hay. Apparently, from reading the history in Texas, they were originally a heavy cotton producer, but a bull weevil came in, wiped out the cotton, and they started growing other things. And my relatives, they were growing hay, and here is a picture of them with an old hay machine, hay press they call it, not a belling machine, because they had to load the hay into this hopper, and the machine compressed it into bales, and they had to tie it with wire, and that's 2 of them there. That's my great grandfather, okay. My father's father, okay, and that's he had those 2 mules that pulled that baby out into the field. They did the work, and the mules were taken off that and put onto his wagon and carried the hay to wherever it was going. Or I don't know, there's one out there. It may have been helping. There's a wheel behind there, a horse behind there. Somebody wrote that in. So I threw those in there. On the back, I just wrote down a little bit about what it is. The back part of this I did was about me. I put myself in my house I grew up in. Pictures of me. I had a lot of pictures of me. I just picked out a few that I thought were really distinctive. So, and that's it. So when I'm gone and somebody's gonna be going through all this shit, they go run across this thing, and it'll be there. And they'll be able to read it and see what happened, and they'll learn something. Realize that that was a person, that was somebody that thought about all this shit and put this together. And I think that's important. To me, it's important. And I hope after watching this video that you think it's important too, not for me but for you, okay? Because this is really it seems important to me, And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. It makes you feel differently about yourself. Once you learn all this stuff, it makes you feel differently about yourself. And so I think that's important. Uh, and so I want you all to at least consider it. And if you can possibly do it, think about it, because if you're young, if you're really young, now's your best chance. You can talk to your grandparents, find out what life was like for them, what was important to them, what school they went to. Did they get a diploma? Did they graduate, or did they drop out, or did they work, or where they worked at, and what they like doing, what places they went to. They have any pictures they could share, stuff like that. Uh, it makes it interesting, and the more you know, I think a better relationship is between you and yours. So, uh, check it out. Give it a try. Who knows? I mean, no matter what happens, if you do something like this, and you have children, and they have children, all that, it's something that can be built upon by future generations. So, good luck. See you then.